Hey everyone, and thanks for joining me here in the Fortress of Wishrings. This first episode, episode 0, this first video is just actually going to be about me showing you around why I've decided to do a streaming / let's play. Because I found a great embark area, and I'm excited about it. I want to stay committed to it, and I feel like this would be a good way to do it. Because I had already embarked, in order to show you guys the world gen screen, I had to export the save file, and so that's why you're seeing this as a reclaim. But I still have the active fortress. So you can see it's in a tropical freshwater swamp. It does straddle 2 biomes, but they're identical biomes. Shallow clay, very deep soil. There's an aquifer, although that's actually only on the portion to the west of this north-south river. The portion to the east does not have an aquifer. There's shallow metals and flexstone, which should be useful. And we're in an untamed wilds area. The planet's called the Portentous Planets, which I think is awesome. We're on the continents of Confederacy. That doesn't really speak to my politics, but it is what you will. I don't remember what my group name is. If somebody can tell me how to discover that, that would be great. But the fortress name is Wishrings. I apologize in advance for the quality. If this gets some success, I'll pay for the upgrade on XSplit. They get a little bit better audio and visual quality. But for now, I just wanted to show you around why I thought this area was so interesting, and some of my general vague plans for it. So if we zoom out all the way, what you're going to see is that this area is a very high plateau with a ledge on the other side. And here I'm going to just drop down some Z level so that you can, that's up, so that you can see just how tall this cliff face is. And there's the river below. So I thought it would be a really fun area to build a fortress. Some really great opportunities for some cool builds. What I think I'm going to eventually do is that little separated piece of land to the left or to the west, dig a tunnel through there, and have the main fortress entrance be a bridge across that river. Zoom back in and show you some of the landscape. Is that the right zoom in? Yeah. Alright, so you can see that there's a river, oops, right here, filled with carp, just completely filled with carp. And then it runs over the side of this cliff, made of clay, fire clay actually, which is fun. And the cliff face is made of magnetite, chalk. A little bit farther down there's some schist, and then into a couple layers of gabbro, which I think will be really fun to dig through, and then down to some gneiss orthoclase, before emptying out into this lower river, which is a really wide, really fun river. I'm not sure if I'm going to dam it or what I'm going to do. There's some milkfish and sea otter people. River otter people. Some river otters down here. And quartzite is lining the walls here. Obviously, I don't know what's going on farther down, but it seems like a pretty fun area. This is back to the very top of the plateau. Dense forest, lots of plants. There's some bees around as well. And lots of wide open space for outdoor pastures if I want them, outdoor farming if I want it, before dropping off into another cliff over here. Oh, there's actually plenty of platinum too, I saw as I moved around, which will be useful. I didn't see any exposed lignite or bituminous coal, but with the amount of trees on the surface, I don't think that'll be a problem before we get to magma. So I can actually show this to you in stone sense as well. I'm running the Lazy Noob pack. You hear sound sense in the background, and here is the world in stone sense. Make it a little bit wider for you. So there is the wagon, all the dwarves and the animals that I brought along. I'm running mostly Captain Duck's 2012 Embark profile with the hunter, who's not going to be hunting in the beginning. With a few modifications, I took slightly different foods, slightly different animals, but for the most part, it's Captain Duck's Embark profile. So you can see this just sheer cliff face, which is what I'm so excited about. The waterfall is not showing yet because I start the game's paused. So I just think the flow hasn't kicked in yet, and now I've lost where I am. Let's see here. Okay, there it is. There's the river. Okay, so I need to rotate again. Was this it here? Yeah. So the waterfall isn't showing yet, but again, I think that's just because it's paused. Let's see, how do I move? Is this moving down levels? Yeah, it is. So I think my main fortress is going to be in these gabbro layers, and I might just carve out like a 4 Z-level tall entrance and have like just a huge open welcoming chamber, Moria-style entrance with a bridge coming across to this other landmass, and then a tunnel going through the landmass and letting out down here somewhere in this neighborhood, this region, have the tunnel go in, and that be the main access to the fortress. That way I can line the tunnel with traps. The bridge itself, of course, will be a nice trap if I don't make it a natural bridge. And then I've got some options on the top whether or not I wall off the sides or things like that. So I'm excited to be playing this map, and we'll definitely look for suggestions if you guys have any ideas of what can be done. I definitely want to have some drowning chambers, probably some air drowning chambers to maybe capture some of these river creatures. Tigerfish, there's milkfish in the bottom river, obviously there's carp. And see what we can't create and what sorts of science and fun we can get up to. So that's really it. I'm going to spend some time planning out the initial temporary fortress and then get started playing shortly after that. So I hope you'll come along and maybe offer up some suggestions and watch as the fun commences. Thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing where Wishrings goes.